triggers and switches. What intensifies your lust? What is your trigger? What is that switch that if it's flipped on, you're gonna go right back to things that you said that you would never go back to? And if you don't identify your triggers, if you don't identify your switches, you'll put yourself in an atmosphere that you don't even know is gonna intensify your struggle. All a trigger is something that sparks a thought, idea, craving, passion, desire. It does something to your body. Your trigger could be a song, your trigger could be a location, your trigger could be a conversation, your trigger could be a Facebook page, your trigger could be who you follow. We all have triggers, and we have to identify what is it in our life that will trigger me to go back. The reason this is so important is because so many times I think we believe that something is dead, and it's not really dead. It just hasn't been triggered. And it takes the right person, the right situation, the right location, or the right season to show you thought that was dead, but it's really in a coma. And we have to make sure that we don't surround ourselves with things that are triggers or that could turn on our lust switch. I believe one of the methodologies of the enemy is as soon as you have some type of evidence that you've made your mind up. As soon as you have some type of evidence that you made your mind up, you know what? I'm gonna do the church fast this year. I'm gonna follow the Bible plan that everybody's on now. I'm gonna go to this conference. I'm gonna go to the Travis Green concert. I'm gonna deactivate this. I'm gonna stop following. As soon as you make up your mind, that ex texts you. That song that you haven't heard since college just randomly plays in Dillard's when you're walking through the mall. There's something that seems to happen that tries to see, do you still have taste buds for that sin? Do you still have a passion for that sin? This means that you could move forward, but you never progress. The devil knows that there are certain seeds that have been planted in our hearts, and if we don't go to war with them, if we don't allow the Holy Spirit to expose them, if we don't uproot them, I promise you, the right person, the right relationship, the right argument, the right evening, the right cold front, when you're in the bed by yourself at night and you don't have nobody, and all of a sudden you start feeling lonely and you get that random text, hey big head, what you doing? Hey girl, what you doing? This will be your trigger. This will be the thing that takes you back. Even in Sodom and Gomorrah, God spared Lot's daughters. They got delivered from Sodom and Gomorrah, but they weren't free from Sodom and Gomorrah because they got their father drunk and then they had sex with him. That is Sodom and Gomorrah type of behavior. So they got delivered, but they didn't get free. When you're delivered, your place has been relocated, but your mind hasn't caught up. When you're free, you could be in the same place, but your mind is relocated. What is my trigger? What things around me? What things could I consume that'll awake a old me? What can agitate that old sin, that old issue to such a degree to where I'm tempted to return to the place where I was crying out for God to deliver me from bondage? And I'm gonna give you a few, then we're gonna wrap this up. First thing I believe we have to identify is music. A lot of times, especially if we're talking about cultural music, they always correlate love with lust, especially if you're a 90s baby. If you are a 90s R&B head, all the music always equated love and lust, and they're so different. Love looks nothing like lust. Love gives, lust takes. Love is all about sacrifice. Lust is all about self-centeredness. They're totally different, but they try to merge love and sex together. And so therefore there's certain songs that if we listen to it, it takes us back to Egypt. It takes us back to a place of bondage. It takes us back to a place where we had strongholds. So therefore this has to become something we go to war with. I can't allow anything in my ear that reminds me of the bondage I had in Egypt. Deliberately. You walking in Walmart, you hear a song, there's nothing you could do about that. We're talking about your iTunes playlist, your Google playlist. We're talking about your channels on your Pandora station. We're talking about what you listen to on the regular. I'm telling you, whatever you eat in private, you will wear in public. We must reiterate that. Whatever you eat in private, you will wear in public. And many times we say that we're struggling, and we're really not struggling, we're strengthening. It's not that we're fighting so hard not to go back. is that we're listening things that are triggers. We're listening to things, we're watching things, we're even having conversations with people that are triggers. Music. Next, friendships. I'm just being brutally honest and transparent. I would not have been exposed to pornography to the degree that I got exposed to if it was not for my friends. My friends showed me pornographic material in elementary school. My friends showed me and told me all about sexual activity in middle school and what you do to a girl, and this is what girls like. We're talking middle school. When I got to high school, it was a whole nother level. The people that I was calling friends, if I really think about it now, were really toxic for my purpose. And it is possible for the enemy to surround you with people who are filled with toxicity. And just because y'all have history, just because y'all are compatible, you'll be loyal to it. And I do want you to know it is dangerous when you're loyal to a devil just because y'all had history. Anybody that strengthens your lust, anybody that pulls you away from your king, anybody that talks you out of what God has talked you into, they're allowing the enemy to use them for this particular season of my life. And I can't be surrounded by people who speak the language of hell and expect the power of heaven. Bad associations corrupts good character, and we have to really watch the people I'm hanging with. Are they switches? Are they triggers? Are they igniting me to go back? And also, not just your boys, your girls, the person you're calling boo, the person you're calling babe, or even if you are a married man or a married woman, that single man, are they igniting a trigger in you that is arousing you to possibly commit adulterous behavior? So you're kikiing in his face, laughing in his face, talking about he just understands me, but that's not your husband. And you have to understand that you could have chemistry with the demon. The enemy knows how to send you the right people in your hard season. My music, my associations, and my romantic relationships. God is not going to send you somebody. If you've been asking yourself, I wonder, is this the one? You're dating somebody, you're engaged. God is not going to send you somebody who is intentionally taking you from himself. That is the biggest red flag you could have. If they are cool with fornication, if they are cool with shacking up with you, if they don't mind spending the night, if they get irritated when you talk about boundaries, if they get irritable when you say no, if they get upset when you say we can't do this, this is not a person that God is sending. God is never going to send you somebody that separates you from himself. That's what sin does. It separates. So if we're in a relational context and we're trying to justify our behavior, but this particular individual keeps causing us to fall short, if this individual keeps causing us to engage in sexual activity, and no, we can't just always blame them because we wanted to, but if we notice it's harder with them, this is a trigger. It is possible for your boyfriend to be your trigger. It is possible for your girlfriend to be your trigger. We already are wrapped in a sinful nature, but it is possible for you to be calling boo to be your trigger.